Hey everybody, Don Georgievich here with Job Interview Tools, and today I wanted to talk to you about whether it's time for you to quit your job. Now, obviously, if you're not working, this video is not for you, but maybe you want to watch anyway. But anyway, I've been reading lots of articles and news headlines that say millions and millions of people have been quitting their jobs. Because of COVID, they're shifting around. Now, personally, I don't know of anybody who's just up and quit their job. So some of this stuff is just news headlines to catch attention, but it made me think. It's like, when is a good time to quit your job? And I mean, I've done it before too, and I'll share with you some of my experiences, but I'm going to walk you through some of the more common reasons that you might consider quitting your job. Now, for starters, I am not telling you to ever quit your job, and I would never do that. What I want to do is just walk you through some of the reasons someone might want to quit their job and some of the questions that you might want to ask yourself to decide whether, you're happy doing what you're doing, you're happy where you're at, and, whether you want to go somewhere else or not. So, hey, before we get started, if you like this channel, please subscribe to it. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know. This helps me understand what types of videos that you like and which ones that you don't like, and so that I can create more content that you want to watch. So let's just dive right in. First reason that you might want to consider leaving your job is that you've plateaued. You've hit the ceiling, and maybe it's like a glass ceiling there in the company, and you feel like there's nowhere else you can go. You've done everything you can do. You've gone to your boss. You've asked for more responsibilities, more challenges, whatever it is you're looking for, and you just can't seem to find it in this company. And you just kind of hit the top there. And you're like, what should I do? And the first thought is maybe I should look for something else. Maybe I should quit. Maybe I should start my own business. I hear that all the time. People get bored at their jobs and they think that maybe they should just go out and start their own business. And you know what? Sometimes that's good for people. Other times it's not. Not everybody is cut out to be self-employed. Being self-employed is hard. You got to bear all the responsibilities. But that's going down a different path. What I really want to talk to you about is, what kind of questions that you should ask yourself as to whether you've hit that ceiling there. And some of those are, what do you want to be doing in your job? What are you looking for? What are you not getting? And have you gone to your manager, or your boss, or team leader, and told them specifically, even tell them, hey, I'm kind of getting bored doing some of this stuff. Is there something else I can do? I'd really like an opportunity to work on this project, to work on that project. Now, if you get shot down for all of those and you just keep trying and trying, maybe it's time. Maybe you've just hit that ceiling and there's just nowhere else to go in that company. So the next step for you is to decide what it is that you want to be doing and then start looking for other opportunities. Though I would not suggest just up and quitting your job before you have another one. Okay, so let's move on to number two. Now, number two is the biggest reason that people quit their jobs. They hate their boss. They can't get along. There's just this incompatibility with their boss that, maybe their boss is mean to them. Maybe their boss is abusive to them. Maybe your boss is just unfair to you. Maybe, your boss doesn't treat you with respect. Or maybe you just don't like his views or her views, personal views, whatever. Or maybe you guys are just going in two different directions. But the biggest reason that people quit their jobs, it's not money, it's because they hate their boss. They can't get along with their boss. So if you are having those types of issues, and if it's not an abusive type of a relationship, but just one where you guys just don't get along, I would encourage you to try somehow to reach out, to work it out. You see, it's a lot better for you to be able to work out something with somebody that you can't get along with. That's a skill that everyone really needs to have. And people who don't want to try to work things out and just kind of quit and move on, that's going to come back and that's going to hurt you later in life. I think being able to work out things with someone else builds character. It allows you to put yourself in someone else's position. It allows you to look at things a different way. But if you can't work things out, or maybe you just don't want to work things out with your boss. You're like, screw it. I'm done with this. I can't stand to be around this person anymore, and I'm out of here. Now, I've known people who have despised their boss so much that they just up and quit without even having another position lined up. Now, that doesn't mean that they didn't have any income coming in. They probably had income coming in from a spouse or from another source. I don't know of anybody who's really just up and quit their job without any source of reliable income coming in. So always keep that in the back of your mind. Now, if you have, maybe you got a huge bank account, you got a whole bunch of money sitting around, and it's no big deal for you to just quit and take your time, 6 months, a year, whatever it takes, to go find something else. But still, I would always recommend to continue working until you find something else that is more suitable. But if you really can't stand your boss, make sure that in your next job, when you're interviewing, with your potential boss, is to find out what they're like. To find out what they're like before you accept a position with them, and find out, understand, and know what's important to you in a boss, what you like and what you don't like. I mean, if you don't like a micromanager boss, make sure you find that out before you get another job, because you don't want to get in the same boat again with somebody else who's managing you the same way that you hate to be managed. So something to keep in mind. So know what you like about a boss, know what you don't like, and then look for that in a future boss in an environment that is, going to be conducive, to your own success. All right, so let's move on to number 3 here, culture. Maybe you don't like the culture that's at your current company. Now, there's good cultures, there's bad cultures, and then there's cultures that really aren't even cultures, which are probably most of them. So when you talk to your coworkers, and if you ask them, hey, what are we all doing here together? And if you get different answers from everybody, that tells you that everybody isn't on the same page. And what that really tells you is the vision from the top hasn't been fully communicated down to the people. So everybody kind of has maybe a different idea of what the goals are for the company. And then you have all these hodgepodges of different ideas, and nobody's really working together. Everybody's kind of working independently. Everybody is saying, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I had to do this, I'm the best one for this position, instead of saying, hey, we got the best team, we're the best at what we do. We are changing the world. We are creating the best products. So if your culture is based with everybody being individualized versus working as a group, then you have a common culture, but it's not the best culture. And maybe that's probably why you don't like the people that you're working with, or maybe you don't like the vibe of the people that you're working with, which is essentially what your culture is. But when your whole team and the whole company is on the same page and they're all working together, that is a good, healthy culture where everybody sees the same thing. Everybody has the same goals for the company. And maybe you're not feeling that where you're at. And you want to move to somewhere where you can be a part of a team that is working together and that everybody is on the same page about where they're going. So if you're looking for a stronger culture, a better culture that's more conducive and that suits your personality and who you are, then you have to be careful about the next job that you take, because most companies, don't really have a very strong, clear vision about where they're going. It's just kind of just all over the board. So as you're out there and you're looking and interviewing, make sure you ask important questions to prospective employers about what their culture is like. And maybe you even want to talk to some of the people, some of the workers there that you might be working with on the team to find out, how they feel about it. And listen for the type of language that they use. As I mentioned earlier, the we versus the I. If you're working in a company and everybody's talking about I and me and I do this and I do that, that's not a strong culture. But when they're all using the words we and us and together and we can do this and we're number one, now you know you're in a highly productive culture. Now, Zappos, if you've obviously heard of Zappos, they were known for having this type of culture, and everybody wanted to work there because of Zappos' wonderful culture, where the company just let the people be the people and form the culture, but the vision was communicated all the way down to everyone, and everybody was on the same page about what was most important to the company's success. So let's move on to the next reason why you might want to quit your job. Procrastination. You might procrastinate, all of your work. And, hey, I'm guilty of procrastinating too. We all are. That's something humans do. But if you're going into your job every day and you just keep putting off, something you need to do on this project and something you need to do over here and this person you need to talk to and this person you need to call, if you just perpetually keep putting off everything that you need to be doing, and usually when we put something off, it's because we want to go do something else. And we're putting something off because we don't really want to have to figure it out. It's tiresome to figure out, or maybe it's just too boring. Maybe it's too tedious. But if you find yourself in the position where you're constantly putting off all of your daily duties, and you're really not making that type of progress, that might be a reason that you might want to leave. It means it kind of tells you that you're just too bored there, or you're just tired of doing the same old thing. Now, another opportunity you have is to try to get out of it. Try to get out of it, but within your own company. Maybe interview for another position within your own company, doing something completely different. That's always easier than just quitting and going off and finding a job somewhere else. So moving on to number 6, maybe you're getting excited about other opportunities that you hear. Maybe you get calls from headhunters and they call you up and they're like, hey, Don, would you be interested in doing, blank, whatever it is. And maybe that's getting you excited. Maybe, there's some other opportunities out there that sound so much more exciting than what you're doing now. Maybe it's an opportunity to work on some new software, some new technology, some new designs, different people. Maybe it's an opportunity to work in a different geographic location, a different company that you've always wanted to work for. But there are numerous opportunities out there with all kinds of really cool companies. And, maybe those are just a lot more attractive than the ones that you're working on right now. But another thing that you can do is you can always go to your boss, your manager, or the director and say, hey, have you guys thought about, doing something like this? And get them excited about some of those other opportunities to bring them in-house so you can work on them. That way, maybe you don't have to leave, because I don't want you to have to quit your job unless you need to, because it's work. It's a lot of effort. Job hunting takes time. It's effort. It never goes the way we think it's going to go. I mean, myself, I have quit many jobs only to go start somewhere else, thinking it's going to be different, thinking it's going to be better. And you know what? For the first 6 months, it was. And then after that, it was the same old thing that I had before. And the same old thing I had before that. The only thing that's really changed is the people. And the people are the people. Coworkers are coworkers. Some of them are great, some of them aren't. That's just the way it is. So keep that in mind. If you if you think the grass is greener over there on the other side, it's usually not. Sometimes it is. Yeah, depends where you're at. But these are questions to ask yourself. And is the move really worth it? And is it really going to make me happier? And you know what? Maybe yes, maybe no. I can't really tell you. I don't know your situation, but I just want to help guide you down the process of deciding what might be better for you. Okay, so let's move on to the last one here, your attitude. Your attitude about the job, the company, the mission, the vision just doesn't excite you anymore. And and that happens. I mean, maybe after you work 3, 5, 10 years, you're just tired of it all. You're tired of what they're doing. Maybe they just keep doing the same thing over and over. Maybe you work for a company that makes boxes. I mean, it's boxes. We take cardboard and we fold it and put it in little shapes and we sell it to people. Yeah. Some people might find that interesting. Other people might get bored with it. So your attitude about everything that you do might have changed, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to become uninterested in something, and that's just part of who we are. And what that's really doing, I think, is it's yourself pushing you to grow, saying, you know what, we're tired over here. Let's go do something else that's just totally different, that's new, so we can learn something new, so we can grow, so we can better ourselves, so we can, go to the next level. And if you're thinking like that, you should be proud of yourself, because there's other people, and I'm sure you've met them, their attitude has changed about their job. They don't like it. But you know what? They're too lazy to do anything about it. And they just sit there. And they just sit there in that job for 10 or 20 years, bored out of their mind every day. But, they keep doing the least that they possibly can do. And they just keep doing that every day because going somewhere else is hard. It takes effort. And why do I want to do all that anyways? It takes too much time. And is it really going to be better somewhere else? I mean, we've all met people like this in certain kinds of positions, in certain kinds of jobs. And we're like, why are you even here? Why don't you get out? It's because they don't care. Their attitude has changed about their job, but they've also just accepted their surroundings, and they've let their surroundings and their environment kind of just bring them down to a certain level, to a place where they feel they can't even escape. So if you're here now and you're watching me, think about it. Think about those people who, those lifers who appear to be stuck in certain positions. And is that what you want? Is that what you want to be one day? I don't think so. I think you want more for yourself. I think you want to grow. I think you want to be the best you can be. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be one of my subscribers. You wouldn't be watching me today. So, my friend, I hope this has helped guide you in deciding whether I'm happy where I'm at, or you know what? I think I'm gonna go through this process, and I'm going to decide exactly what I'm looking for, and what I have now that I don't like, and what I have now that I do like, and then take all that and decide exactly what I want, where I want to be, and then try to find a position that's going to be more suitable, that's going to help me grow, that's going to keep me interested, at least for the next 3 to 5 years, and somewhere where I can just be in an opportunity or an environment that is just, where the vibe is positive instead of all this negative rhetoric that's floating around every day. And find that place and look for it. It's out there. I guarantee you it's out there. It does take time. It could take, it could take months to find it. Heck, it could take, a couple of days. You'd be surprised once you start looking. But I'll tell you, one of the fastest ways to get out of where you're at now is networking. is calling up friends, calling up old acquaintances, and saying, hey, you know, I'm looking for something different. What do you guys have over there? And that might be the fastest, easiest way to get out of where you're at and into something new practically overnight. The other alternative, you hit the job boards, you look around there, you can also just send out letters to companies saying, expressing, your interest in them and, what they do, and then, how you feel that, you could make a contribution to their mission and their vision. All right, my friend, I hope this video has been helpful to you and to help you out. If you decide that you want to go out and search for jobs, they're going to ask you some questions about, why you're looking, why did you leave your last job, all those kinds of things, and help you out. I want to give you top 10 interview questions. Inside this guide, I cover all those questions like, tell me about yourself. Why did you leave your job? Why do you want to work here? And after you've gone through the process that I just described about deciding whether this is the right place for you, they're going to ask you some questions about, what led to your motivations to leave your company. And after you've answered all those questions, you'll be able to say, hey, this is why I'm leaving. And it's because, I'm looking for this, or my company didn't have that. Well, this little guide right here is going to help you answer those questions so that they can better understand what you're looking for. And it's going to allow you to communicate yourself a little bit better. So you can download this from jobinterviewtools.com/top10. Just put in your name, email address, tell me where to send it, and I will get it out to you today. And, read through that, and it's going to totally prepare you for your next interview. All right, my friend? That is all I have for you today. If you like my channel, please subscribe to it so you get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. This lets me know that, hey, you like this video, and I can make more videos that you find interesting, that you like to watch, and that are actually helpful to you. Okay? Take care. Good luck on your next interview. We'll see you in the next video. Bye now.